These long dog days of summer, I mean, we just made it through a heat wave. Mama was parched through this heat wave. I was hitting up Dunkin' every single day, and I will continue to probably for the rest of my days, but especially this summer. Dunkin' is helping everyone stay cool this summer with its lineup of refreshers. These drinks are packed with bold, fruity flavors and served ice cold. It's amazing. Dunkin' refreshers are the perfect afternoon pick-me-up. I like to start my morning with them personally, and then sometimes I go back for a second one because I'm just feeling crazy. They come in a variety of delicious flavors, including fan favorites mango pineapple and strawberry dragon fruit. And then for a limited time, there's black cherry and there's pink pineapple. I'm going to tell you something right now, and it's a bold claim, let me tell you, but I stand behind it. Pink pineapple will change your life. It is so good. It has me feeling like I'm sitting in a pool, resort side, just living, honey. It's so yummy. Try your favorite flavor with green tea, sparkling water, lemonade, or Dunkin's all-new limeade. I haven't tried the limeade yet, but I'm going to. Usually I get my drinks made with green tea and occasionally lemonade, but I do really like the green tea. Or if you don't want to build your own, try one of Dunkin's curated refreshers like the Cherry Lime Ricky or the Ultimate Pink Daydream. The Cherry Lime Ricky, scrumptious. I could drink like 3 of these a day. They're so freaking yummy. Head to Dunkin' today and find your favorite refresher. Dunkin' refreshers contain less than 1% fruit juice. Limited time offer.
This episode is brought to you by SoFi, the all-in-one finance app where you can bank, borrow, and invest. It's time to achieve your financial ambitions. Earn more on your savings with a SoFi Bank high-yield savings account. Ditch your high-interest credit card debt with a SoFi personal loan. Or start investing on an easy-to-use platform with SoFi Invest. Wherever you are on your financial journey, SoFi's got you covered. Learn more at SoFi.com/SXM.
Hi, Ryan Reynolds here for Mint Mobile. Are you looking for a beach read this summer? May I suggest your big wireless bill? It's got suspense, mystery, a slightly flat, emotional arc, and a shocking twist where you realize you've been overpaying the entire time. Fortunately, though, Mint's story is better. Every plan, $15 a month. Even unlimited. That's it. Happy ending. 0 tears. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/save.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
Hey, weirdos. I'm Ash.
And I'm Alaina.
And this is Morbid.
It's an Ash-centric Morbid.
Hello there.
We also have a windstorm happening.
I didn't know if you were going to say anything about it, but like as soon as I was like, this is Morbid, the wind was like,
what was it like? Okay, cool. Thank you. I just wanted to make sure. Yeah, I just happened to like gaze out the window as I said like hello, and then I was like, oh, it's an actual windstorm outside.
Damn.
Like there's trees like bending over.
You know what's scary is right behind my head is like a very large tree, and like whenever it's windy, I'm like, one of these days I'm probably just gonna die in this seat while reporting about like something else,
And then I'll cover it.
Thank you.
So
It's not necessarily well.
the
That's
tree is
morbid,
the murderer. Yeah. So hello, it's an Ash-centric episode, and I think there was a little technical glitch in the listener tales episode this week. Sorry about that. I know, like everybody and we included are always like, it's been a week, but like, oh
Honey,
boy, it's
this
been a
week
week.
takes the cake.
It truly has.
Nothing even like actually bad happened.
No, it was just a series of very stressful,
Annoying events.
weird, like fuck ups and failures of just and nothing huge, nothing that was like. But you know when things, and I'm sure everybody like you get me right, guys. Like everything. When everything just like comes together in the most shitty way, just to like everything you try to do during the week, you just fail at.
See, the new moon is like supposed to bring like new beginnings, but I feel like it had a little bit of like damage to clean up. Like the first week after the new moon, I guess we just had to like get through all the shit of like the last moon.
We had to sweep, I guess.
And I'm
I don't
feeling,
know.
yeah, it's like you swept, but then you didn't vacuum.
Hopefully we're cleansed.
I think
now
we are
after this week, because I mean, it even leaked into like, you know, everything. It was like we tried to do Scream this week and it got all messed up. We just like everything was messing up. I don't know what it was.
Everything
But you know
sucks.
what? It's a new week soon. So we're
totally fine.
We're gonna be good.
Even tonight, I think tonight's the start of something new.
There you go. And I think the only other thing I wanted to kind of like mention before we start was the Tristan Bailey case.
Yes.
Holy hell. It's everybody, I'm sure you've all heard about it. If you haven't, definitely look it up because it's insane and it's happening right now.
It's horrible.
We are going to cover that case, but we want to see it through to the end. So we want to make sure we watch this whole trial. We want to see someone charged. We want to see someone, like officially, we want everything to be kind of buttoned up a little more.
Because things in the beginning, when you start to read articles, like one article will say this, and then another article will say this, and then this other one over here said that this person said this, and you're like, but what?
And
what's the truth?
There's just not enough information out right now for us to feel comfortable reporting about it.
Yeah.
But we do want to acknowledge, like, wow.
And our hearts go out to her family. I can't imagine.
Truly. And you know what it is? It's really showing the double-edged sword that social media is. Because social media can be this, like, beautiful thing that can help solve cases. It can do awesome stuff.
And bring people together.
All this awesome stuff. And then it can be the worst fucking invention that ever came about in humanity. And we see this when a picture is posted on a news website of Tristan, a 13-year-old girl who was murdered brutally.
Yeah.
And some of the comments on there
are things
that, honestly, you look at them and you're like, well, there you are, future murderer. Yep. Like, it's just, there you are. We're all seeing it happen. It's like, you have to be a despicable person to say some of the things I was seeing.
Seriously.
Like, people sitting there saying she deserved it. She shouldn't have worn that. It's like, what the fuck?
The whole, you shouldn't have worn that.
She's a baby.
Literally, I can't. Also,
she's a child.
That is a uniform that she was wearing.
She's also a child who was murdered. I don't give a shit what she was wearing.
Exactly.
It has nothing to do with it.
No. And then the other thing is, like,
her family has to see that. That's so fucked.
All these, like, kids that are, like, making Instagrams about
like,
it, saying
profiles and shit.
It's like, what is going on?
Who raised you?
Well, I was just gonna, where are your parents? Like, my kids, I'm gonna monitor their fucking social media until they're like 18 years old.
Oh yeah, my kids like
until forever.
Godspeed to them, but it's also just like, how does that happen?
No, how does your brain work that way?
Because never once as a child did I ever be like, it would be really fun to harass the family of a murdered child. No. Like that never entered my mind as like, ooh, you know what would be fun to do?
No.
And it really blows my mind. So
sickening, it really is.
It really is. We've been following it like very closely. We just wanted to let everybody know because I know a lot of people were like, like tagging us, being like, we got to cover this, and we definitely will. It will be covered because Tristan's story should be told, but we want to just make sure we wait for it to get a little more clear,
and tightened up.
The picture, a more fuller picture of what's going on. So we will be covering that eventually. We just wanted to let you know. And, be nice online, guys.
Yeah, you know what?
I know no one listening here does that shit, but like, go
comment something nice on someone's picture.
Yeah, just go be nice. Go make someone
spread kindness. Pay for the person behind you in the drive-thru.
Yeah, because
that's my favorite. I hope I'm behind you.
There you go. Right? I love doing that. I hope I'm just behind you. But honestly though, like you see like a nice, even just something as simple as like, because I think I tweeted about how our week has been shit, and the amount of people that were just like, yeah, me too. Like I'm having a shitty week too. Like hopefully both of us get better. High five. Like it was just like nice.
Well, and here's the thing. I think sometimes even I do this. Like I'll go to say something like nice, and I'm like, oh, they might think that's weird if I say that. Like I'm just gonna not say that.
It's like,
no, fuck it. Who cares if they think you're weird? Just spread positivity and niceness.
Because you know what? Nasty people never think twice about what they say. No. They just shoot off at their fucking mouth, and they don't care that they're gonna ruin someone's day.
And you never know.
So you know what? Don't think twice about being too nice.
Because you never know if that person, like your comment, is really gonna
make the day better.
Exactly.
Because it does. It works. So
it does.
There's our little PSA about internet,
courtesy, etiquette, all of the above.
But yeah, it was the Tristan stuff that just like really, it gave me a really sour taste in my mouth.
People are horrific, unfortunately, as we're going to see with this case that I'm covering too, actually.
Yeah, let's just segue right into the worst kind of people.
Yeah, the absolute worst kind of people. And the people that we just don't know.
I was going to say an unknown people.
Yeah, this isn't even like an unsolved it's a kind of an unsolved case. It's just very confusing. You know what we're here for because the episode title. It's the Smiley Face Killers. And I have done nothing but like watch Smiley Face Killer documentaries for the past 2 weeks, like read every possible article that I could, ask Drew if I could tell him all the terrifying things in this case. And he was like, please don't, maybe call Alaina. But then I was like, no, because I can't tell her everything because then I can't surprise her. And I was like, and also I already did. So,
so there's that.
So we are covering the Smiley Face Killers phenomena, I guess you could call it. It's like, what is happening?
The mystery.
It's crazy. Because since about 1997 in various parts of the US, there have been hundreds. Like, I think the number is up to like 300, over 300 now of all these cases that they think may be associated with this. Jeez. And it's young college men just ending up dead in water somewhere. And a lot of these cases have been ruled accidental drownings, but a lot of people do not think that's the case, and I am one of those people.
I kind of stand...
Are you a little bit in the middle?
I'm a little in the middle. I can see both sides, so I'm eager to see what
After this, you won't, because I'm biased. But
might as well just get that out right now.
Yeah, like I definitely think that this is a killer for sure.
And I'm gonna stay in my middle lane here, and I'll see.
Yeah, see how you feel at the end. Yeah. I also think that this is gonna be part 2. This is gonna be 2 parts.
Yeah.
But each victim shares some kind of similarity with the next in these cases. It's usually like a pretty successful guy who's in college, making honors, or like a promising young athlete. Like, these kids have everything going for them, and their whole future's ahead of them. But it's somehow after a night out with friends, they end up separated from their group of friends, and they end up in a body of water, seemingly having to like fallen in the water after drinking too much. But then you kind of look a little more into that and it doesn't really make sense. So
I mean, so far,
well,
seems like it could be accidental.
It could be, but I haven't told you anything of importance yet.
Give me the deets.
So sadly enough, in the U.S. alone, there are 3,500 to 4,000 drowning deaths per year, and men make up 80% of that number.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That's interesting.
I know. So it's really not that uncommon. But what's weird about the victims that we'll focus on, and those thought to be associated with this strange thing that's going on, is that when they're found in the water, things don't end up between like where they were supposed to be, how long they would have had to travel from point A to where they supposedly fell in the water, and even like the level of decomposition of their bodies. The level of decomposition in these different cases that I'm going to present to you is bananas. So let's get into it.
That's what I'm really interested to hear.
Yeah, and I'll tell you. So in 1997, there was a guy, Patrick McNeil. He was one of the promising men unfortunately found dead. His body was in the East River in New York City. He had been going to Fordham University. It was his junior year, and everything was going really well. All of his professors absolutely loved him. They thought that he did great work. He had a really good group of friends, and he was known to be someone who like really wanted to put their best foot forward at all times. Like, his friends used to make fun of him and be like, okay, are you ready to go out yet? Like, did you pick your outfit? Like, do you look good? Do you smell good?
Your hair look great, honey.
Your hair is perfectly coiffed. Okay, let's go.
Love it.
Do you remember in school when you just knew that your teacher had a favorite of everything? They would always use the same blue dry erase marker when they wrote on the board, or they would talk nonstop about their favorite element during science. I had a teacher once that literally had a favorite brand of marker. She would only write with specific markers, and if another marker ended up in her classroom, she was TO'd. And honestly, I was probably her favorite student because at the end of the year, I got her that specific brand of marker. Let's talk about their real favorite thing though, their favorite tissue brand. Kleenex. According to Teacher List, they are the #1 facial tissue trusted by teachers. Kleenex Ultra Soft tissues are silky soft to help prevent skin irritation, and now you can take them anywhere with Kleenex Snap and Go. I absolutely love Kleenex Snap and Go. It's so perfect to have that in your car. I had a cold last week and I was just... Honey, my nose was a faucet. I hate to do this to you, but it was disgusting. Drew literally came out of our garage with like 15 of the Kleenex Snap and Goes, and I put those in my glove compartment, and honey, they were easy access. It was so nice knowing that I didn't have to blow my nose into like an old wrapper that I had. Ew. So do the best thing for your kids' teachers and stock up on the ultimate classroom favorite. Maybe it'll make them their teacher's favorite student. They definitely have a favorite. Don't even get me started because, again, you know it was me. For whatever happens next, grab Kleenex. The best summer pieces are the ones you end up wearing on repeat, comfortable, versatile, and somehow right for almost every occasion. Quince makes it easy to create a summer wardrobe that you'll love, with elevated essentials made from premium materials like European linen, organic cotton, and washable silk, without the traditional retail markup. I love that! Quince's 100% European linen pants, dresses, and tops are the pieces that you absolutely will reach for all summer long. I absolutely love their linen. I have so many pairs of their linen pants, which you can dress up or you can dress down in the summer. Like, say you're going to a nice dinner, you can pair it with like a silk shirt, a really cute necklace, some good, makeup and an updo. Or if you're just looking for a more casual look, you can do the linen pants with like a loose button-up shirt and you still look really chic, kind of like, I don't know, Diane Keaton vibes, I kind of think. Also, it's not just apparel. Quince also offers elevated essentials for your home, from bedding and bath to kitchen essentials and furniture. They have it all, honey. I am a big lover of Quince, and I really do think you will be too. Make your summer wardrobe feel easier. Go to quince.com/morbid for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/morbid for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/morbid.
He also had dreams of working for the FBI someday, and he was definitely smart enough to make that happen.
Wow.
Yeah,
Good
crazy.
for him.
I know. So on February 16th, 1997, Patrick and some friends decided to go out for the night. The bar that the Fordham kids loved to go to around that time was called the Dapper Dog, and it was in Manhattan.
The Dapper Dog.
The Dapper Doge. So that's where they decided to go out that night. Pretty quickly, though, Patrick was, not feeling great, and he ended up having to run to the bathroom and get sick, and he, ended up throwing up in the bathroom. But it was weird because he hadn't really drank that much, especially for how sick he was getting and how disoriented he was becoming. Now, once he finished throwing up in the bathroom, he found his friends and let them know that he was going to head back to campus. It's really unclear to me why, no one was like, hey, I'll go with you.
Yeah, you're obviously sick.
Yeah, and I did read that he was waiting outside for one friend to come out, but they just, never came out. Huh. So he was like, okay, I guess I'll just go on my way. So plenty of people saw him after he left and believed that he was making his way to the subway. He was still throwing up, on the street and was very unsteady on his feet. He was falling into cars. He was, stumbling around. I really don't understand why nobody helped him.
Yeah.
One witness saw him walking and noticed that a previously double-parked van was slowly trailing him.
Huh.
Uh-huh. And at one point, Patrick actually fell to the ground. And when he did this, the van came to a complete stop. And then he got back up and started going on his way, and so did the van. Which is super weird.
Now, is this one eyewitness saying this?
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to know.
Which is fair.
Yeah.
So when he got back up, he made his way to the end of the street to turn onto East 90th. And when he turned, the van did too. And that was the last time anyone saw Patrick McNeil alive again.
I mean, sounds creepy.
Sounds super creepy.
Very creepy.
Now, allegedly, witnesses saw one man and one woman in the van and actually were able to get part of their license plate.
Oh.
So that's super exciting, right?
Very.
Yeah, you could probably do something with
excited.
that if you wanted to spend the money on it. But the head of the missing persons department didn't really want to do, it's called a lawman search. And what that would have done is basically complete the plate number by using all the possible combinations and matching it up to
a van.
The
kind of car.
A make and model, exactly. But it would have cost $1,200 at the time, and he didn't want to spend the money on it. So he just didn't. He just didn't.
Yeah. Why do that?
Why solve a potential murder case?
Yeah. That's not what people want.
No, but it's
people don't want things solved.
No. It's so aggravating.
We want the mystery.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we're here for. So
That's terrible.
It would be 2 months before Patrick McNeil's body was discovered in the East River in New York City on April 7th, 1997. Yeah. Now, they were able to recover his body near the Owl's Head Water Pollution Control Plant, which was more than 12 miles away from his last known location. Now, the fact that he was found in that specific location didn't really make a lot of sense with the way that the currents were flowing, but honestly, that was the least sinister thing about the discovery of his body. Here's what we'll get into.
I'm ready for this sinister situation.
Usually, drowning victims, as you know, are found in the water face down. Mm-hmm. Most of the time. There obviously things happen where it's not always like that.
Absolutely.
Now, This was one of those cases. Patrick was recovered on his back, but there was no evidence of lividity in his back area in the autopsy photos. So I guess you could say at the same time that the conditions in the water maybe like flipped him around in that position, which is fair. But wait a second, because there's more. Patrick seemed to be like really intoxicated while walking down the street, like he was literally stumbling. But then when they tested his blood alcohol concentration, it turned out to be 0.16, which like, okay. And the body, and because the body naturally produces more alcohol in the process of decomposition, it was fair to assume that his actual blood alcohol content was 0.12.
Okay.
So, like, that's not super drunk at all. That's about 6 drinks, which for me and you would be like super duper drunk, but he was 195 pounds and 6 feet tall. So he was like a big dude.
Yeah.
So obviously, like, it's definitely drunk, but not drunk enough to be in the state that he was in. Like, he was.
I mean, 6 drinks to me sounds like a lot of drinks.
See, me too, but it's like, he's super duper tall. And like, then I think about going out with my guy friends and I'm like, they'll throw back like 3 beers in a couple hours.
It's hard to judge because it's always based on like weight and, you know.
Right.
So yeah. That is weird.
It sounds like a lot, but I don't know. Maybe some of our dudes or like taller women can weigh in here.
Where my dudes at?
Where my dudes and tall women at?
Yeah, because I think about it and I'm like, John's like 6'3" or 4", and that I think that would probably not. I've never seen him like that drunk.
No, like falling over, throwing up, and everything.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It just seems weird. So a lot of people were like, "Was he drugged?" Like, it seems like there was something a little like a kind of like a roofie situation there.
Yeah.
Now, it also seemed as though there was some kind of ligature tied around Patrick's neck at one point, because the medical examiner notes in the autopsy report, quote, circumferentially around the neck, there is a pattern which consists of numerous vertical lines evenly spaced about 1/16 of an inch apart around his neck, in a pattern as if to suggest some type of binding.
That's interesting.
So it's like, okay, then why was it ruled an accident?
That's very interesting.
Super duper weird. The autopsy also notes that there was severe blackening around the head and the upper torso, and the medical examiner surmised that this was because of not only advanced decomp, but also an extended period of exposure to the elements. However, a team of retired detectives and one doctor disagree.
Okay.
Now, Kevin Gannon, Anthony Tony Duarte, Mike Donovan, and Dr. Lee Doc Gilbertson make up the Global Death Investigations team.
Badass.
They're so badass.
It's so badass.
They all agree that after looking at the autopsy and having another set of super professional eyes look at it too, that the head to waist blackening on Patrick's body was due to burning, not exposure of the elements.
Really?
Because the areas where the skin was blackened were not what you would expect from an exposure to the elements, and especially not water. Usually when bodies are found in water, as you well know, they're bloated.
Yeah.
And the blackened skin that was on Patrick had contracted.
Okay.
So which was like pretty weird, which is like usually due to flame.
More typical in heat.
Yes, exactly. Now, Dr. Sirois agreed with the team's theory, and he's like a super, super famous pathologist, that the blackening skin was in fact due to burning to the point of skin charring.
Wow.
Yeah. And together they all agreed that it looked as though Patrick had been bound by his neck to a chair while being burned, and that he was alive when this occurred.
What the fuck?
Insane. Now, there wasn't a lot of charring around the back area, so they believe that his back was pushed against the chair when this all happened.
Oh, okay.
And there was like lower red marbling around like where his pants would have been, which is a sign of like it kind of stopped there because
like
the pants
heat was just going right to that point.
Exactly. So like, what? Like, that's absolutely terrifying.
Holy shit.
Now, they noted something else of importance, too. If the top portion of Patrick's body was black because of environmental factors and decomposition, then why were his feet not equally decomposed?
Well, that was going to be my question. Is like, but why wouldn't the lower
Why wouldn't the lower part
Yeah.
be super decomposed? I mean, that's the part that's...
Because your feet are exposed.
Exposed and in the water. And over a period of like 50 days he's been in
Yeah.
this water, like you're gonna have slippage, right?
Yeah.
No signs of slippage whatsoever, which is not only uncommon, just like essentially unheard of in cases like this where a body has been in the water for that long.
This one sounds like murder.
So if that's the case, was Patrick on land for some of the time that he was missing? Yes.
Seems like it.
That would certainly seem to be the case, especially because there were fly eggs found in the groin area of Patrick's body. Now, 4 doctors, including the pretty famous forensic pathologist, like I said, Dr. Cyril Wecht and Dr. Richard Jantz, who is from the body farm.
Yep.
They agreed that it's highly unlikely these eggs were laid while Patrick's body was in the water.
Yeah.
It would have been far too cold in New York in the middle of February, and water, like the water would have been even colder.
Oh, 100%.
So it wouldn't have happened.
And especially like from the body farm, they know. Like,
yeah, of course.
When they know they test all the different conditions. They've seen every single different condition.
And it's like,
so for them to say that, to be like, yeah, no, I don't think that's how that worked. Like, you can trust that.
And they were 2 of 4 doctors that all agreed that, like, no.
Yeah, it just that doesn't like vibe with me.
Doesn't jive or vibe.
It doesn't do any of it.
Now, Kevin Gannon actually was one of the original detectives on Patrick's case back in 97. And he is the one who set out on this mission to, like, figure out what happened to Patrick because he promised his parents, Pat Sr. and Jackie McNeil, that he would find out who murdered their son and bring this person to justice.
Those poor people.
And he has spent the past 24 years trying to keep that promise to find out not only what happened to Patrick, but these countless other young men that I've been talking about.
Yeah.
Because they're all dying under pretty similar, super suspicious circumstances. Now, unfortunately, Patrick's death still remains listed as an accidental drowning to this day.
How?
I have no idea.
Like, the ligature thing really is like...
The ligature thing makes absolutely no sense.
And for the medical examiner, the pathologist, to say in the thing that it appears he has been bound by his neck.
Right.
And then to list it an accidental drown, like what?
The only thing that I can think of is it's like he was in the water. Is he thinking that like he got like caught up in something?
Because immediately when you first brought that up,
that's
like
what
the
that's
devil's
your first
advocate
thought.
in me was like, well, if he's been in the water a long time, maybe he got caught up in something like a net or something.
Exactly.
And it pressed into his neck and it made it look like that. And then the currents took him out and that's
sorry, I just like threw my computer. But I'm like talking with my hands. But then you have that and then you have everything else. When you put it's like when you put all the rest of the puzzle pieces together, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, just the darkening on the top half of the body and that it's
not
like
no slippage
contracted instead
on the
of
bottom.
Expanded. No slippage in the water for that long. I mean, for these experts to be saying like this is burns, not just plain old decomp.
Right.
That's interesting.
Right. And the fact
very interesting
that the body wasn't bloated, because I feel like you and I have talked about like a couple like bodies that have been found in water.
Yeah.
And I mean, like think about Hallie Illingsworth. Was it? Like she became soap. She was in there for so long.
And it's like, of course, temperature like can mess around with things, especially like decomposition really is dependent on temperature. And it can, this was in the middle of like the freezing part of the time of year.
Right.
But I don't know.
But just with the other factors, it's just like,
and
what?
the eggs.
The eggs, that was the part that like
interesting.
sent me.
That's very interesting.
And in part 2, we're going to get to like another kind of like insect. We're going to look a little more into that.
Yeah.
And you're going to be, I already told you some of it, but I didn't tell you all of it. And you're going to be like, okay, I'm convinced.
Okay, what? Was there any mention, and maybe there wasn't because I know like they don't release everything. Was there like any mention of like hair? And like, was it charred?
I didn't see any mention of his hair in like what I looked through because I couldn't find the autopsy report for him.
I know. I'm dying to read it.
Yeah,
it's like,
exactly.
Now I want to know.
But I can answer that in part 2 if I find the answer.
Yeah, we'll try to find it. Because I'm interested to see if like the hair gave any kind of indication of fire as well.
It's funny that, well, fire for sure, like obviously that would happen, but it's funny that you mentioned hair because that comes into play in one of the next victims.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, that was weird. That was like a really good segue.
Look at me just segueing for you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Now, just 1 year after Patrick's body was found, another young man was discovered dead, having drowned after a night out with his friends. And the creepiest part is that he was found in almost the exact same location where Patrick was found a year earlier. This man was Lawrence. He went by Larry Andrews. He was 22 years old and he was from Brewster, New York. Now, like most of the victims we'll talk about, he was a young college guy with a bright future ahead of him. He had taken the train into New York City, he had taken the train into the city on New Year's Eve in 1997 to go out and celebrate with his friends in Times Square. At some point, they all...
You know that feeling when you come home late from work and those puppy dog eyes just pierce right through your soul? Or when you're packing for a trip and your cat refuses to leave your suitcase? Yeah, we've all been there. Pet parent guilt is real. And you know what? It's completely normal. That's exactly why Hill's Pet Nutrition exists. They understand that being a pet parent means being human, with all of our imperfections and daily juggling acts. Hill's science-led nutrition helps you give more love than humanly possible. Whether it's those long work days or trying to balance attention between multiple pets, Hill's Pet Nutrition gets it. They've created science-based nutrition that supports your pet's lifelong health, so you can feel confident even when life gets hectic. Because you're only human, there's Hill's. Science does more. Ready to let go of the guilt? Find the right food at hillspet.com/podcast. That's hillspet.com/podcast. This is a paid ad by BetterHelp. I happen to be somebody that struggles with people pleasing. So a lot of times I will build things up and up and up and up and up and then kind of get to the point where I'm like, I need to let this out to this person. Even in 2026, that stigma and just stigma in general can get in the way of a lot of things, like getting support for your mental health. Maybe you've encouraged friends to consider therapy while avoiding taking that first step yourself because you're busy. You're worried about what other people might think, or telling yourself that you should handle this all alone. But therapy with BetterHelp, the world's largest online therapy platform, can be a space to slow down and talk through what's been building before it feels unmanageable. Just take a short questionnaire to identify your needs and preferences, and BetterHelp will handle the initial therapist matching work for you. Their industry-leading match rate means BetterHelp typically gets it right the first time. Feel confident knowing BetterHelp therapists work according to a strict code of conduct and are fully qualified. Don't let hesitation hold you back. Find support with BetterHelp. Sign up and get 10% off at betterhelp.com/morbid. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/morbid.
Watched the ball drop, but after that he got separated from them. And people did see him in a bar near Grand Central Station and said that he appeared to be drunk but not incoherent. So it's strange that just like in Patrick's case, Larry's body was found about 12 miles from where he was last seen.
That is
same location where they were found, but like different locations before they were.
That's really interesting.
But like just about 12 miles.
Like same dump site.
Yeah, it's super weird. Now, Kevin Gannon and Susan Andrews, Larry's mother, agree that Larry's death was no accident and definitely not a suicide. It was far too similar to Patrick's case, and Larry was like not known to be suicidal at all. His sister was just about to get married, so he was looking forward to that, and he also had upcoming plans to go on a skiing trip. Now, the more and more Kevin started looking into these cases, he was realizing that there were more than just similarities between the victims, but also the areas in which they were found. In many cases, smiley faces were being graffitied nearby where the bodies were discovered. And you can argue, again, devil's advocate, that smiley faces are like
very
super common. I mean, I could go outside right now and probably find 5.
Yeah.
But it definitely felt like more than a coincidence to Detective Gannon, at least.
It's interesting, to say the least.
It is. And you know what? It's not at all of these sites. So it is important to know. Like, I'm going to be totally transparent with you here. Because the smiley face is like a little bit much in my opinion.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's something to take note of.
Yeah, like sure. I'm going to take note of it every time it's there, but...
It adds an element of like theater to this whole thing, for sure. And I think that's why people grab onto it, which I get. I know we all want to like see that, like, you know, oh, there's a smiley face at all the crime scenes.
Right.
But who knows?
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
Now, we're going to talk about how reliable this team is, because obviously you want to know that the people investigating this are like in it for the right reasons.
Yeah.
So Kevin Gannon and all the members of his team are very reliable sources. Kevin worked on the NYPD for 20 years, and during his time on the force, he received over 100 medals.
Wow.
Including 2 medals of valor for heroism in the line of duty. So he's a badass motherfucker. He also was in charge of the Bronx Homicide Task Force for 3 years.
Damn.
Tony Duarte, another part of this team, was in law enforcement for a total of 21 years. He also received many medals for things such as excellence in police duty. Very, very reliable person. Mike Donovan worked with Kevin and Tony for 20 years as well. He has also worked on hundreds of homicide cases. He actually worked on the elite special anti-crack unit of the Organized Crime Control Bureau. And fun fact, not like fun fact, but he was a first responder in 9/11.
Wow.
Yeah, so again,
Jeez.
very reliable
All right.
source. And the final member of this team is Dr. Lee Gilbertson, who goes by Doc, which I love. He has a PhD in sociology with a focus in gangs and substance abuse. He is a certified gang specialist and also a 3-time recipient of the Frederick Milton Thrasher Award. He won it in 2002, 2005, and 2008. And he is also an executive editor for the Journal of Gang Research.
All right.
So there are their qualifications just right up front. Now,
Like, damn.
yeah, they're a bunch of badasses. You got to watch the documentary that I'm going to talk about in a second.
Oh, yeah.
Because in 2008, this team decided to go public with their theory for the first time about the Smiley Face Killers. By that point, they had about 40 cases across the U.S. that they believed to have been connected, although, like I said, now there are hundreds. They believed that there was a gang of serial killers working together across about 25 major cities, which, scarily enough, are mainly on the East Coast.
Not awesome for us.
Not awesome. And of course, they believe that they're targeting young, smart, athletic, and typically white college men. It seemed that the MO was to somehow pick one of these men while they're out drinking with friends and secretly drug them. Once they're separated from the group, they would be kidnapped, and at this point, they believe, likely held for a period of days and probably tortured to some degree, obviously, based on what we spoke about with Patrick, and then disposed in a body of water. The gang would then spray paint sometimes a smiley face nearby, presumably to like tag the area, being like, hey, like other gang members, like I did this one here, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
And in 2018, like I was just saying, a docuseries premiered on Oxygen called Smiley Face Killers: The Hunt for Justice. Holy shit. Stop whatever you're doing. I bought the whole thing on Amazon. It was like $11. Like, I'll Venmo you $11 to watch it. I'm just kidding.
I feel like I won't. That's not true.
But the series followed the team around to different cities where each of the victims' families was interviewed, and then the evidence was gone through again with a fine-tooth comb, usually showing that the cause of death did not line up with what the body and other evidence told the investigators. And one of Kevin Gannon's major points in this whole thing is that, quote, the lack of decomposition on the bodies is inconsistent with the period of time that the victims are missing. It's a huge part of this.
That's the big, like, question mark here.
It's a huge part of this. And after watching the series, I was on their side and I went further down the rabbit hole. And now I'm honestly just like moderately terrified. So
Well, my thing here that I'm going to like hang on to is the only questions that will like linger in my brain about this is like, where are they bringing them and holding them?
Right.
Because there needs to be a place.
absolutely.
And then why?
Okay, see,
Like why
that
are they doing
why
this?
is the biggest question, and I think why is the biggest question that like nobody's really answered. I mean,
Yeah.
I saw like different theories on like Reddit and like just like little like crime posts and stuff that
Yeah, of course.
that are interesting, but I don't want to get into because
we have
obviously
no idea.
I have no basis to share that. You know what I mean?
Like everybody can speculate what they want.
Yeah, so honestly, I mean, it is interesting to go through and kind of check out the MOs
For
if you
sure.
want to do that, or excuse me, the motivation if you want to look at that on your own. But
But I think it's like because if they are doing this, if this is like a big ring
why?
of people, it's like, whoa,
Yeah.
first of all. And then second of all, it's like, where is this happening? Like, where is this torture
Where is, like,
happening?
the
Where are
headquarters?
they holding these men? You know, like,
Yeah.
I need somebody to give me a place or, like, a probable place that this is happening.
Seriously.
Because it has to be somewhere.
But here's the thing, it's across 25 major cities. It could be fucking anywhere.
Well,
and
that's-
there's multiple places,
That's
I'm
the
sure.
other thing, because it's like, if you're holding a grown-ass man for, like, several days to weeks,
Mm-hmm.
torturing them... Like, you've got to have a pretty good place to do that. That's, like,
Absolutely.
away from a lot of people. That's, like, very...
Well, and I think
it's...
that's another scary part of
Interesting.
this is that they're targeting men. And a lot of these men were very athletic. Like,
Yeah, like,
they're
tall,
built, tall.
yeah.
Like, I mean, I just said that one of them was 6 foot tall and 195 pounds.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean, he
interesting.
could take you for sure.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are built and, like, it just, you're like, why? How? I don't understand.
Yeah, and obviously it's not a typical, victim profile for most serial killers. Usually serial killers do go after women,
Yes.
And so it's interesting to see like this giant possible ring.
It really
that
is.
is only targeting these like, pretty like middle class white dudes.
Yeah.
Like it's just weird.
It really like doesn't make any sense. And
very strange.
I think that's another part of why people like to kind of hold on to like the smiley face killer theory is that like it freaks you out because you're
it's weird.
and like there aren't like answers really, so
Yeah.
you can just continue to go further and further down a rabbit hole.
Like the first one, like to me that seems like murder. It seems like
Absolutely.
murder with all the... Obviously, eyewitnesses are pretty unreliable. It's a little hard.
Yeah.
So, like, depending on the amount of people that said that van was following them, and, like, the fact that they had a partial license plate, that tells me someone saw something.
Exactly.
So that's
Something enough to
interesting.
like write down a license plate.
Exactly.
I mean, how many fucking license plates do you write down?
Yeah. So it's like, that is interesting.
It is.
To me.
Well, I think the second one is pretty interesting too. Or,
Yeah.
excuse me, third now. So if we're going chronologically, which I'm going to try to do, then Brian Wilson is who we should talk about next. Brian was a 21-year-old college student in Chicago. His mother, Stephanie, says that Brian was the best thing she ever did,
Oh, my God.
which ruined me.
Just destroy my heart.
He was a super bright kid like all the others. He was making honors in his classes, and he was on the dean's list. He was a finance major, and he was really good at all things money related. His mom said that he liked to spend her money instead, though, when I thought it was just like a cute little comment.
Who doesn't?
Now, a major red flag here. Brian wasn't really a drinker. Like, he didn't really drink a lot.
Okay.
So, when his body was discovered washed up on a beach in Gary, Indiana, 30 miles away from where he was believed to have entered the water on Lake Michigan, and law enforcement claimed that this was an accident fueled by drinking, everyone was like, no, it wasn't. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Now, Brian, just like Larry Andrews, had gone out with friends for New Year's. So we have 2 New Year's cases here, which is a little creepy. Except this one was in 1999.
And New Year's tends to be the time when people get wild and they get drunk and accidents happen. I'm just saying.
No, that's absolutely fair. That's absolutely fair.
Being the asshole.
No, it's true. You're right. And I think it's good to have like me being so like hell yeah, I know this is happening, and like
I'm
you being
literally
like
in the middle.
I'm gonna wait and see. I think that's good.
I can see both sides.
I
here.
think each person listening is probably like Team Alaina or Team Ash in this one. Or just team neither of us, I guess, since you're in the middle. They're
yeah,
like,
there you go.
it's not real, but
It's not
is.
real.
I disagree with you. So Brian's best friend, Nick, was out with him that night, and he said Brian only had a couple of drinks. Now, I will be devil's advocate, so I don't have to listen to you do it. They were drinking Long Island iced teas, and we all know that those will fuck you up.
I was gonna say, because those are different every time you go.
Yeah, you never know what you're going to get with a Long Island.
Straight up iced tea, or you could get, lava from a volcano.
Literally.
So you have no idea.
I've died and gone to heaven and like come all the way back multiple times when drinking Long Islands.
Oh, I've seen the netherworld.
Yeah, I've seen some shit.
Yeah.
But again, he's a taller dude. Like,
Yeah.
he metabolizes things a little differently than you and me.
For sure.
So everyone in their group of friends also pretty much had the same amount to drink. So at least we can look at that as well.
Okay.
And hopefully we can just assume that they all had the same bartender before you even say it. So I'm one step ahead of you.
You can just like sense it in my
I can.
eyes. I'm like,
I can. I'm going to stop looking at you. Now, the only difference between Brian and everybody else was that Brian got extremely ill, like Patrick McNeil ill, like very ill,
very ill.
to the point of falling over. Same thing. He left the bar with his friends. Thank God that they left with him. And they headed back. They were actually staying at a hotel that night. So while they were driving back, Brian got sick in the ar. And when they got back to the hotel, his friends went up to get like some cleaning supplies to obviously clean up. But the doorman would not let Brian back in the hotel because he believed he was so drunk, obviously. It was then somehow, it's really unclear how this all happened, but somehow Brian got separated from his friends in that moment. And multiple
What
people.
happened there?
I think they went up to like get the cleaning supplies.
And maybe he wandered away.
And I
or
think he just
something
wandered
happened.
off. Exactly. Or like maybe got sick or was like kneeling over to get sick and somebody grabbed him. Who knows? I don't know. That's the whole point of this. Nobody knows.
Is that we have no fucking clue.
Exactly. Multiple people witnessed him throwing up and stumbling down the street. I'm, again, confused why nobody stopped to help this boy. But again, after that night, it would be a full 77 days before anyone saw Brian again.
That's a lot of days.
It's about 3. That's like 2.5 months, almost 3.
It's a lot. It's a lot of days.
Now, Nick, who was out with Brian the night before, called his mom, Stephanie, the next day to see if Brian was there because he hadn't returned back to the dorms. And Stephanie right away knew something was off. And later, when she was notified that Brian was missing, this lady is a badass. She started searching right away. She was going into the city to hand out flyers of Brian and just looking for any lead she could.
That kills me.
At first, the police wouldn't take Brian's disappearance seriously, probably because it like happened on New Year's and he's in college and they just don't take things seriously, I guess. So
no big deal.
She gathered a ton of people from her church to show up at the station, like demanding that something be done about this. And this is horrible. Brian's father had passed away the year before in his sleep. So
Stop.
I can't imagine.
This poor woman.
And then to deal with your son being missing for 2.5 months, like... I
What
can't
a
imagine.
handsome guy he was too. I'm looking up these men. as
They're
you
all
say their
super
names.
handsome. He is super
Such
handsome.
a handsome. They all are.
Yeah. So, like I said, though, I can't imagine what she was going through. Like, she just lost her husband, and now she's lost her son, but she has no idea where he is. Like, it's that kind of grief where you're like, you don't even know what you're grieving about.
You don't even know what. You don't
or
even
what
know
to
where
grieve
to put
over.
it. Some people, I'm like, why do some people just get hammered with that kind of stuff?
I
like,
know.
Ugh,
You hear about like families that just like never
catch a break.
Exactly. But I am happy because she had like her church around her and she had a network like helping her through it
thank
all.
goodness.
So I'm happy that she had that.
Ugh.
Now, when Brian's body did wash up on that beach, like I said, in Gary, Indiana, 77 days later, there were a lot of questions to be asked. For one thing, why did it take so long for his body to get there? Mm-hmm. Why was he only moderately decomposed after being in the water for 77 days? And how did he end up in the water in the first place? Now, if Brian took the route that the original investigators believed that he did to get to this point in the water, he would have had to cross 10 lanes of traffic, and each, like, 4 of them were going one way and then like a bunch of them were going another way. Or he would have had to navigate an underground tunnel. And looking at the state he was in, I don't think either two of those things would have happened.
Yeah, it just seems like when people wander away drunk, they don't wander like 65 miles away. Like
No.
they wander like a little ways away.
Exactly.
And can get themselves in trouble if there's like a body of water nearby.
Right, of course.
But that seems like a lot.
It's super weird. And it's worth mentioning that Brian wasn't really familiar with the Chicago area. So it does make sense that he could get lost. But like to get this lost, whoa.
Yeah.
And even if they did do this and he fell in the water, why did he wash up 30 miles away after such a long period of time?
Yeah.
Now,
That's interesting.
the police Sergeant Faziquez, was on the case originally, and he appeared on that Oxygen series that I talked about, and he was talking to the team reinvestigating everything. And he said that in his 29 years on the force, it was the first time that a body had washed up on this shore.
Really?
Yes. And he said that Brian looked like he had been missing for a week. What? Now, this is like a police sergeant who's been on the force for 29 years.
Days, and he looked like he had been missing for a week?
A week. Yes. Now, of course, it is possible that over the course of those days, Brian's body could have floated the 30 miles over to Indiana from Chicago.
Of course.
But realistically, and actually statistically, it should have happened a lot sooner. Now, on the series that I've been talking about, they were able to go over all of the previous bodies found in like this area. And they were able to see that in that 30-mile stretch of water, all those bodies that were there, the longest it took a body to get even near the proximity of where Brian's body was found was 36 hours.
I thought, even if you had said 36 days, I was going to be like, that's a lot of days.
36 hours
was the longest? And
the
he was
longest.
77
And he was
days.
77 days. Like, this is essentially impossible.
That's unprecedented.
It absolutely
That's
is.
Truly
Now,
outrageous.
again, let's look at the blood alcohol concentration.
Let's look at it.
So Brian's was reported at 0.084, which for reference is almost sober enough to operate a vehicle.
I was just going to say, that's low.
Now, obviously, and this is where it gets a little bit confusing, because he had thrown up. So
A lot.
a lot. And we can assume, like I said, a pretty good amount because of whatever he drank, like came back up. However, we don't know how soon he started throwing up after he had drank. So we don't know how
If
much
it
of
had
that
already metabolized.
metabolized. Exactly. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now, if the concentration was that low, but he was so clearly ill, it's not an out of this world assumption that he had been drugged.
For sure.
Like, clearly somebody slipped something in his drink.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, during the autopsy, they didn't test to see for those particular kind of drugs. Like, you have to test for those.
Yeah, it's like a specific order.
And they didn't, because they thought this was an accident, unfortunately. So let's get into Alaina's territory a little bit here.
Let's do it.
Because I'm going to need you.
I'm excited.
I tried my best to like look into all of this, but I was like, you know what? I know that I have her, so.
Somebody use her.
Now, Brian's back showed fixed lividity, meaning that he was laying on his back for a good portion of the time after he died, and probably when he died?
Yeah, probably.
Yes. Okay.
He was at least, maybe when he died, it's more that he was spending the most time laying on his back after death.
Okay.
Because it's after death that it starts
Lividity starts to set in.
Because everything settles where the lowest point of gravity is.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now, from what I've read, it is very unlikely that a victim of drowning would show fixed lividity in general, but especially on the back area.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Dr. Lee Gilbertson further confirmed that when he said, quote, "This is inconsistent with a body in turbulent water like Lake Michigan. He should have had lividity on all sides, not fixed to one side."
Because that would indicate that he literally did not move.
Like he was just on his
During the
back.
lividity process, he was
that
on
entire
his
time.
back the entire time and never even like bobbed or anything around where
Which
like any
in the
kind of
water?
which in the water I don't know.
And
That
again, this
doesn't-
is the winter time and it's Lake Michigan. Like,
yeah, it's
hi.
not like it's like glass.
No, I mean, he washed up on a beach. Like, we
Yeah.
all see the tide going in and out.
Exactly.
He would have moved even just in that moment.
Yeah,
you know?
I would imagine you would see it more than on their back, but
I would think so, and so would Dr. Lee.
well, there you go.
Doc. Now, there was also no fluid found in Brian's lungs at all.
Yeah, that's interesting.
All of his organs were well intact, which, being in the water for 77 days, I would assume that your organs maybe get, like, bloated or something.
I don't really know a lot about what the organs, what the insides do in water, but the no water in the lungs is very interesting.
Super weird. And there was no sand found in the esophagus or the stomach. Now, when Dr. Sirois, my dude, went over that particular bit of information, he said that he believed it was highly unlikely that Brian entered that water alive and drowned.
Yeah.
He agreed with the team that Brian was likely murdered somewhere else before he ever entered that water. And Dr. Gilbertson believes that when Brian's body was found, he had only been dead for about 36 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, it's like especially the lividity thing, it's like it seems to me like he was lying on his back on a flat surface.
Yeah.
After he was killed, the lividity fixed, and then they threw him in the water.
Exactly.
After that was already done.
So the only reason that I said that the hair stuff was going to come back is because a small patch of his hair was, like, missing. Like, clearly had been, like just gone.
Mechanically removed or something?
Yeah, like, just gone.
Wow.
So, which is weird.
That is weird.
But they didn't get, like, super into that, and I couldn't find, like, a ton on it. So I didn't know if that would happen after 36 hours in the water.
I don't know why that would happen.
I don't either.
Unless there was, like, scalp slippage, but
Yeah.
it doesn't...
But it doesn't sound like there was.
Yeah, that's strange.
Now, the good thing about this particular case is that the Sergeant Fazekas agreed to reopen Brian's case.
Oh, good.
So they reopened it back in 2018. I haven't seen anything that's come of it, like, yet, but I mean, at least it's
I'm
open.
glad they're reopening.
And they're
though.
looking into new possibilities.
Huh.
Now, the next case that I want to talk about, and probably who we're going to end on, I think, is Luke Holman.
Okay.
Luke was a 21-year-old college student going to school in La Crosse, Wisconsin. Whoa. I don't know if you heard that. The door just slammed because of the wind. His case is, like, really eerie to me because he and his parents had actually talked about all of the drownings that had been going on in that area when Luke was deciding where to go to school.
I hate when that happens in a case. When a victim is, like, talking about the other victims before they become a victim. It's like...
And that happens not once, but twice in this case.
Eek.
That was the first example. And just definitely worth noting, La Crosse actually has the most cases associated with the Smiley Case Killers.
Huh.
With Smiley Face Killers, excuse me.
Smiley Case Killers.
Autocorrect. With over 20 mysterious quote-unquote drownings. So there's over 20 there that they believe are Smiley Face. Luke
We have some
decided...
in Boston, right?
Oh, yeah, and we'll get into
we have
those.
a bunch in Boston.
We have about 12 in Boston.
I was going to say, I thought it was more. It was like a dozen.
Yeah. Now, but Luke decided to go anyways. He didn't like water anyway, so he said, I'm not even going to be around the water.
You know that feeling when you come home late from work and those puppy dog eyes just pierce right through your soul? Or when you're packing for a trip and your cat refuses to leave your suitcase? Yeah, we've all been there. Pet parent guilt is real. And you know what? It's completely normal. That's exactly why Hill's Pet Nutrition exists. They understand that being a pet parent means being human, with all of our imperfections and daily juggling acts. Hill's science-led nutrition helps you give more love than humanly possible. Whether it's those long work days or trying to balance attention between multiple pets, Hill's Pet Nutrition gets it. They've created science-based nutrition that supports your pet's lifelong health, so you can feel confident even when life gets hectic. Because you're only human, there's Hill's. Science does more. Ready to let go of the guilt? Find the right food at hillspet.com/podcast. That's hillspet.com/podcast.
Hi, Ryan Reynolds here for Mint Mobile. Are you looking for a beach read this summer? May I suggest your big wireless bill? It's got suspense, mystery, a slightly flat, emotional arc, and a shocking twist where you realize you've been overpaying the entire time. Fortunately, though, Mint's story is better. Every plan, $15 a month, even unlimited. That's it. Happy ending, zero tears. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/save.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
Like, I'm not going to slip and fall in. And once he was actually talking to his friends and he said, quote, you'd have to be a dummy to drown in the river because when you see the river, you know you're going the wrong way. Which is true that you are going the wrong way, not that you'd have to be a dummy.
Not that you'd have to be a dummy, because obviously if I was talking to him, I'd be like, yes, but the whole story of these men is that they are very disoriented and not with it when they enter the water.
But at this point, I don't even think that, like, the Smiley Face Killer thing was like that.
Like, the details
like,
were all out.
Nobody was really talking about it that much. It's only really in recent years. It's crazy because it's been happening since 1997, but it's only really in recent years that we've heard a lot about it.
Almost the
My
entire
entire
time
life.
you've been alive. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Super crazy.
That's nuts.
Now, it is true that the Mississippi River is in the complete opposite direction of all the bars and the way that you would go if you were going back to campus or like heading back in for the night. But that only makes things like super stranger.
Yeah.
Because if everyone going to school there or in the area knows that, then they probably would avoid that area.
That's true.
Meaning, like, these aren't accidental drownings. Allegedly, in my opinion. Now, Luke avoided that particular area himself because, like I said, he didn't like water. But after he went missing in September of 2006, that is where his body was found, just like the countless other men that had died there before him.
Spooky. That is so spooky.
So creepy. Not only one, but 2 instances where he was talking about it. And his parents were literally worried for him to go there.
Oh, that stresses me
Like, they were like, just be smart. And like, oh my God, I freaking love his parents. They were on the documentary, and just all the parents on the documentary, I just want to envelop them in a group hug and never let them go.
It's so heartbreaking. Because these are such, like, young guys.
They're such young guys, and these parents just seem like... It's like how we talked about in the Heather Bish case, or the Molly Bish case when we were talking to Heather. It's like you feel connected to these families because they're your everyday family. Yeah, they could be your family.
They feel like your family.
And a lot of these parents in the cases, it feels that way.
Yeah.
Now, Luke was a star basketball player at the time, and he was going out, that was just like I was saying that he was, and he was going out to celebrate Oktoberfest with his friends. Those two things don't correlate, but... I wanted to point out that he was really good at basketball.
Yeah, he was also a good basketball player.
Yes, because it's worth mentioning, too, another athlete.
A tall guy, an athletic guy.
Yes. Now, at one point or another, he got separated from the group. No one is really exactly sure how. One of his friends who appeared in the documentary said that, like, a group of them were leaving the bar that they were at, and he was staying there with one other guy.
Okay.
Who he was, like, acquaintances with.
Okay.
Which, like,
because I'm always like, how are they getting separated from all their friends? Like,
but then you think about it, and, like, that's been the first part of, like, so many cases that we've done.
It really has. And every single time I'm always like, how though?
How does that happen?
How?
Right.
How does
but
that
like
happen?
But also, I love you, but you're not really a party animal.
No, I'm not.
Which, like, is not an insult. I was just like, but, like, I could see, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I could see me getting separated from my friends.
And I think, like, I would never let any of my friends get away from me. So, like,
but you know what? Actually, now that I think about it, I've put myself in the position multiple times where I was like,
yeah, you have.
I personally separated myself from my friends and gone to do something different.
Yeah. What's up with that?
Is not smart because I host a true crime podcast, but
that's very true.
Those days are gone anyways.
They're behind you.
But back to this. Now, they found Luke's body in the Mississippi River and promptly ruled it an accidental drowning. excuse me, I skipped over something. He got separated from the group, and it was 3 days later that his body was found.
Okay.
So his was found pretty quickly. The body showed defensive and offensive wounds, and there was some kind of abrasion to his forehead and small scratches that the initial investigators called travel abrasions. Now, the markings on Luke's forehead weren't exactly consistent with being travel abrasions, though, because what they meant by this was that basically while he was traveling, for lack of a better term, down the river, his face came into contact with small rocks on the bottom of the river or other objects that would have left him with scratches.
Yeah.
But the problem in Luke's case is that the abrasions to his face were going in different directions. And when you're flowing down a river, you're typically going one way.
That's true.
So that's just like a little thing.
But your body could bob a little.
Yeah, for sure.
You know.
Now, the other thing is that the defensive and offensive wounds were explained away because there was a rumor of an altercation near the last bar that Luke was seen that night. This altercation was to have gone down next to the bar in an alleyway. Unfortunately, though, this is like another thing. No one knows exactly what happened because, again, he got separated from his friend group and the original investigators just kind of were like, yeah, like, we don't know.
Something happened.
Yeah. Now, the abrasion on Luke's head was actually brought by the new investigators to a man named William Moore. Now, William Moore is a forensic tool mark analyst, and Dr. Gilbertson explained that what they were hoping to do was identify what made the mark on Luke's forehead. Now, remember, there's a mark and there's scratches. So right now we're talking about the mark. So get this. William Moore's professional opinion is that the abrasion on Luke's head is of a boot print. And what we're seeing is that someone most likely pinned down Luke and held him there with like the toe of his boot. And when you see them place the imprint of like what the shoe would look like over the thing or the abrasion on his head, you're like, how did I not see that to begin with? Like that absolutely is a boot. See if you can maybe find a picture of it. It's crazy. Now, when Kevin and his team were reinvestigating, they also found out that the band members playing at the bar that night had actually been interviewed by police in the original investigation. And one of the guys in the band got into an altercation with another guy, who I guess we could assume may have been Luke, for like peeing near his band equipment while he was packing up his van. The band members were actually asked to bring their van in so that the police could like kind of check it out and get to know them. And a cadaver dog responded to a scent near the rear passenger compartment.
Ooh.
You want to know what was done about that? Nothing. They just let the van go.
Are you kidding me?
And
right
they
now?
like lost all the information.
They
were just like, well,
just let it go.
Yeah.
Just let it go.
It's not, we don't think it's right.
Yeah, just let that go.
It was an accident.
What?
They just like let the van go. How does that happen?
Why would you just not even look into it a little
a little bit more?
The dog responded to it. Just take a peek.
Right.
Like, it's like you might as well. You were there.
Exactly.
Wow.
Now, one of the things with the new investigative team wanted to do was test Luke's clothing for any kind of like DNA or anything else that could lead to answers that maybe was missed the first time around.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they didn't find any DNA, but they did find tons of fluorescent orange specks on Luke's clothing, originally only to have been found on the sweatshirt, but upon performing the test again, the specks were also on his jeans. Now, what's creepy about this is that the smiley face painted nearby that's associated with Luke's murder was painted in fluorescent orange paint. Now,
That's
like,
interesting.
that's kind of the only smiley face that I'm like, oh, that had something to do with it.
That's very interesting.
In my personal opinion. And when they tested to see what the specks were, they were able to, and they determined them to be from nail polish, which sometimes is like sold in spray form and used for graffiti.
Oh.
So, boom, roasted.
Interesting. And
Now-
you know what? This print, it really, you could see that it could look like a boot print.
It looks just like a fucking boot print. I mean,
That's
it could maybe be, I don't know what else it would be because that's not my job, but
Yeah. I mean, it's a very intense boot print.
yeah. But like, I mean, it was probably an intense moment where he was
Yeah.
holding him down.
Yeah. That's
And
interesting.
maybe, I don't, it doesn't really look like it moved at all, but maybe it was like deep in there or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Now, there's a couple other strange things about Luke's clothing. For one thing, I mean, he traveled down the Mississippi River for 3 days, so you would assume he'd be like covered in mud.
You would think so.
Like absolutely covered in mud, like super duper dirty. But what's weird is that his clothes actually weren't that dirty, and it was much more consistent with him only have been in the water for about 3 to 12 hours. So that's like a maximum of 1 day. So where was he for the rest of the time that he spent missing? And the other thing that they realized was that 2 of his back belt loops were broken and looked like they'd been like forcefully yanked off. It was like they were still attached to like the top part, but had been broken from the bottom.
Like somebody pulled up on them.
Like they were like yanked. Now, could whoever was pinning him down have been working with other people who like picked him up to drag him somewhere else, and that's how they got torn off?
It seems like it could happen.
I think that seems like it could happen.
Because why else? Yeah, that's interesting.
And like it could have happened in the water, but these were the back belt loops and he was traveling face first. Which, like, I don't know, you could argue like the same thing from the beginning, that he got caught on something, but it would have had to be pretty forceful.
Yeah.
So that's super duper weird.
And it is consistent with somebody like using the belt loops to like pull him up or something.
That's what I think. Yeah. Now, Kevin went with Patty Homan to share what they had found in their reinvestigation in the hopes to have Luke's manner of death changed to homicide so that they could reopen the case. I haven't seen any update past 2019 on whether or not they've been able to reopen this case.
I'm dying.
I know.
This is so frustrating.
It really is. I was just like moving when I said that, so sorry if I was like, it really is.
It really is.
But it really
from
is.
another planet.
It's crazy.
No, this is because there's plenty of places where you could be like, well, this could have happened. But then there's plenty of places that you're like, what?
Exactly. Like every time I was watching it and I was like, okay, well, like you could explain that. And then I was like, oh, well, you can't explain that.
Yeah. And then there's some that you can explain both ways.
Right. But I think the one that like really, really fucks with me is Brian, because he was in the water for 77 days and looked like he had only been in the water for a week.
Yeah, that one's throwing me off.
Yeah, like what?
This is just a lot.
It's a lot of information. So I'm going to let you process all of that information
before we move on to part 2.
Before we move on to part 2, where we're going to talk about 4 more cases.
Oh my God.
And then I guess I'll find out whether or not you're convinced.
I'm very interested.
I'm glad. I am too. I like don't want this to be over. Like I could research this for years to come.
I know. I was going to say I want to like just keep going and like cover all of them.
It's so interesting. We would
maybe we'll do like
a spin-off
later,
series.
We'll just do a couple more. We'll be like, we're going to hit a few more.
Hey, maybe we could do that for Patreon actually.
Yeah, there you go. We'll hit like all the cases that we can find.
I love that.
Wow.
Well, guys,
stressing me out.
In part 2, we're going to see whether or not you agree with me, and we're going to talk about 4 more of these victims, and we'll see you then.
So take some time. Chew on it.
Take some time. Chew on it. We hope you keep listening to the other episodes, and we hope you
keep
it weird. But that's over there. You don't look a little bit more into this while I'm waiting for part 2. Bye.
Bye.
Introducing Taco Bell's new jalapeno citrus salsa with bright citrus, real red jalapenos, guajillo chiles. Usually, you add sauce to the food, but when the sauce is this good, the food is just there to get the sauce to your mouth. That rolled quesadilla, not a rolled quesadilla anymore. Now it's a sauce shovel. Taco Bell's jalapeno citrus salsa. Get it with any item on the Cantina chicken menu while it's here. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only. While supplies last. Contact store for availability.
Join me, Cyndi Lauper, with Chef Michelle Bernstein and Dr. Panico to talk about psoriasis and psoriatic arthritis, the potential connection and risk of developing permanent joint damage.
Cosentyx secukinumab is prescribed for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis 300 milligram dose and adults with active psoriatic arthritis 150 milligram dose. Don't use if you're allergic to Cosentyx. Before starting, get checked for tuberculosis. An increased risk of infections and lowered ability to fight them may occur, like tuberculosis or other serious bacterial, fungal, or viral infections. Some are fatal. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms like fevers, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, had a vaccine or plan to, or if inflammatory bowel disease symptoms develop or worsen. Serious allergic reactions and severe eczema-like skin reactions may occur.
Learn more at 1-844-COSENTYX
or Cosentix.com/Cindy.